Hello, my name is Donna Wellins. I'm the Education Manager of the Australian Diabetes Educators Association, or ADEA, and I am going to be talking to Dave Sheehan from the Connect show shortly.
Conference will be in Geelong.
Hi everybody, this is Dave Sheehan from the Connect show. Extremely excited today to have Donna Wellins with us. Donna Wellins is the Education Manager, Australian Diabetes Educators Association. Welcome.
Thank you, David. Welcome. Glad to be here.
It's really great to have you along. I've been doing a little bit of background into what you guys are doing with the association, and the guys in the office really wanted to get us together to talk about some collaboration that will be taking place into the future with our association and your association, which is really great. But I guess a really good place to start with is to maybe if you could explain what ADEA does, and it's obviously very much into education.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So ADEA is the Australian Diabetes Educators Association. So we're the national peak body for diabetes education, management and care in Australia. And our members are all health professionals. So we provide diabetes education and care to people living with diabetes, also people at risk of developing diabetes and affected by diabetes. So diabetes affects families and communities. And this is also my professional body. So I am a credentialed diabetes educator, or commonly known as a CDE. And what this means is ADEA is also the regulatory body for the credentialed diabetes educator, or CDE certification. So to become a CDE is quite a rigorous program, and it involves postgraduate qualifications, extra study. And so they look after that regulation. And also, once we do get credentialed, we have to undergo a re-credentialing process. So that involves continuing professional education. So ensuring that education remains current, up to date, and high quality. So ADA also look at providing that for our members. And they also have a number of other different roles. So we advocate for access to quality diabetes education for everyone. So it's that goal of providing that quality of life for people living with diabetes by providing competency standards, best practices. We also look at accrediting and endorsing diabetes courses delivered by universities or other organizations, and also promoting and conducting research. So ADA do quite a lot in the space of diabetes education.
And and before we actually dive into the whole collaboration thing,
Yeah.
diabetes is on the increase, it seems, from what I've read. And so, why is that so? Is it because it's been more, I guess, accurately diagnosed, or is there actual increases in numbers?
Yeah, yeah. So we're actually in a diabetes epidemic in Australia. There's about 2 million Australians living with diagnosed and undiagnosed diabetes, and they predict this, and also people at high risk of developing. So they do say more than 300 people are diagnosed every day in Australia, and it's expected to continue to rise significantly in the coming years. And I think some of the trends that you read, there's 3.6 million people they're predicting to be diagnosed in Australia by 2050. So
Hmm.
I think, part of that is that because we have more knowledge around diabetes now, that we perhaps are looking at more in that preventive space. And that's possibly the reason for the increase in this. But yeah, it's the effects too, I think, of diabetes as well. It's such a complex condition, and it affects the body in lots of different ways. And perhaps it's being then picked up when people present with these other conditions, and then it's like, at the same time they're being diagnosed with diabetes. So
Mm,
yeah,
wow.
definitely.
So things are on the increase. So your job as an association becomes more and more important to the
Absolutely.
community at large. And that's kind of where we can segue into this sort of partnership, or you guys helping the membership of Massage Myotherapy Australia in developing modules. Is that right? Or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sort of
So
education, specific education for massage remedial myotherapists?
yeah, yeah. So we're really excited about partnering with Massage and Myotherapy Australia and developing some diabetes micro credentials, which are tailored specifically towards the practice of massage and myotherapists. So your members play such an important role in looking such an important role, as mentioned earlier. So the role of healthcare workers in general. Um, you're sort of every single day, you're the more than likely will come in contact with someone living with diabetes. And quite often you're going to be more in contact because you do have that trusting relationship built up, that you're probably going to be in more contact than with their healthcare provider. So actually having that knowledge and the skills around diabetes, knowing some of the signs, symptoms of complications,
Mm, sure.
being able to refer is really, really important and can help healthcare providers. So yeah.
It's kind of an interesting point because I know the association have been running some really cool webinars around skin cancer, and
Mm.
the fact that our members get to see people's bodies so much for a fairly extended period of time. I mean, the average physio or a doctor would be seeing in consultation a very short time compared to what a manual therapist is doing. So again,
Yeah.
there seems to be a really great role and some education that we as an association are trying to develop around that in a similar way to diabetes as well. So that's fantastic. How do you
Yeah.
see that rolling out, Donna? I mean, into the future?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's part of the national diabetes strategy is to upskill all of the healthcare workforce. So, in doing that, ADEA, along with the Australian Diabetes Society, created this micro-credentialing framework. So, it's providing education from foundational right up to specialist CDE level, and by providing micro credentials to associations such as yourself and tailored, it can really help to bridge some of those gaps in knowledge and actually help ease the burden of diabetes in the community and population. So, how we see this as rolling out is creating micro credentials that are very specific and tailored to what your learners' needs are and your industry needs are, and be able to create that knowledge so that we can help um, other health professionals and ultimately prevent a lot of those complications that we see. In my clinic, it's really sad that when you look at the effects on the body and how preventable it can be, but quite often in my clinic, I'm seeing, one of the leading causes of amputation is
Mhm.
from diabetes. And quite often I'm seeing people for the very first time that have lost a limb and lost a toe, where as a massage and myotherapist, if you're aware of that knowledge, okay, this person has a blister, and being able to help, a blister on their foot, and having that knowledge, and being able to encourage that can prevent this horrible thing from happening. And that's, I guess, our ultimate aim is to improve that quality of life for people and save lives, because that's essentially what can happen.
So hopefully through the education, we'll
Mm.
be able to refer people on, maybe not so much
Yeah,
preventative, but at least identifying issues sooner than potentially what they would be otherwise,
absolutely.
which is
Yeah.
a great thing.
Yeah, so the micro credentials that we have created, we've created a series of 3 very short, stackable, self-paced online micro credentials. And
Sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the first micro credential, and this is designed to work in with our busy lives. And micro credentials is not a new concept. It's been around
Mm.
for a little while, but it is gaining more traction globally and both over here, because you can fit it in with your busy schedule. It's not as it's more cost effective, and it has lots of benefits. So the first one we've developed is like a fundamentals. So it looks at the different types of diabetes, the signs and symptoms and risk factors, and how you as a massage and myotherapist could help improve some of the outcomes for people living with diabetes with having that knowledge. And then the second and third micro credentials use this foundational knowledge to extend into these other topics of around management and monitoring, because I know that there's been such an advancement in technology. Many of your members may have seen people wearing little devices and things like
Absolutely,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it talks about, around that monitoring, recognizing some of the signs of some of these life-threatening conditions that can happen, like low blood glucose levels. And that can happen quite quickly, and it is life-threatening, and having that knowledge of how to manage it very effectively and quickly is really important. And also the third micro credential, which is also really important, is around that person-centered care and complications. And this is where it would be, very relevant to your members' educations around those diabetes related complications, the risk factors, the self-care and monitoring, and the communication as well. How to support people living with diabetes with language and that as well. Um, as you mentioned before, you're in such a unique position where you can
Mm.
perhaps pick up complications such as circulatory problems, skin infections, when people are coming to you to actually help with their self-care strategies. They're coming to relieve pain and things like that, and you can pick up so much in your area of practice.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Mm.
When you mentioned putting these 3 modules together, the framework, what sort of duration do you think it would take our members to complete one of the modules, do you think?
Yeah. So each micro credential is approximately 1.5 to 2 hours. So it
Hmm.
does allow you to work through the content at your own pace. You can fit it around, you can come back to it. So you can sort of do a bit and then come back to it. And then at the end, you do actually also get a digital badge. So when you successfully complete it, you get a digital badge, and it's like a bit like a little electronic certificate that you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
click on it. It'll give all your metadata, you can share it. And I think it's really important, as well as sort of establishing your role in preventive care as well, to healthcare providers, to employers, potential employers, because you can share that across your professional network. So yeah,
It sounds fantastic, Donna,
yeah.
and the fact that I mean, our association is, we're delving into these I guess these conditions that we've just been doing an interview lately on Parkinson's as well,
Mm.
and just the ability for our manual therapist to in this case, we're not diagnosing, but we're potentially identifying issues with someone on the table that then is encouraged to refer off to. I think that's it's a really
Yeah.
great thing, and it gives our members, I guess, something to kind of hang their hats on as far as their role in all of that. Because if they can save
Yeah.
lives potentially
Absolutely.
with early diagnosis, yeah,
Yeah, because we are actually talking about, someone's limb, and that's where it is very relevant. I mean, absolutely, preventive care is at the heart of effective diabetes management, and you're in such a great position to play such an important role. Um,
and
it's-
that data
yeah,
that you discussed earlier about
yeah,
the prevalence of it. If someone is working 4 or 5 patients a day for
mm,
5 days a week, chances are they are coming across these people.
absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely,
I
yeah, yeah.
I don't know too many people that don't know someone living with diabetes, whether it's a
Mm,
friend, a relative, work colleague. So absolutely, we have 300 people diagnosed every day, and you look at
it's
those
huge.
figures, you are going to have someone living with diabetes as a client, and just being able to be confident and have the skills and knowledge to be able to, um, support them. And I think that's really important from a client's perspective too, because quite often, if you feel like you're not understood, or you don't have that level of support where someone that does, it sort of builds trust and builds that,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
no, for sure.
and, and helps overall with the quality of life, but also collaboration with other healthcare professionals. It gives that united
Mm,
feeling as well. Um,
absolutely.
yeah.
Well, Donna, it's been great talking with you.
Yeah,
I need to wind up the interview, but
absolutely.
for those that
Mm.
would like some more information, even before these modules are fully developed,
Yeah.
um, we're going to pop the website up on the screen there
Oh,
for ADEA. And
yeah.
again, it's been fabulous to talk to you. On that website, I did go, and there is a whole bunch of information about how you have so many different
Yeah.
education
We
modules up there at the minute.
yeah,
But
yeah,
again,
we
folks
are
at home, they
updating.
haven't been, they haven't been
Yeah.
developed yet for the massage myotherapy community yet, but it's
Yeah.
underway.
Yes.
And we'll be hearing more about it via our association. So it's been great talking with you, Donna,
Yeah,
and
nice to talk
thanks
to
for
you.
sharing the information on Connect today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
G'day, it's Greg from Judo Love Sports Remedial Massage over in Perth, Western Australia. So this is the ADMA Pro. I've been using it for 6 years. I was introduced 6 years ago. Once I was bitten, I loved it. There's no way I would treat it without it. We've developed a course called BMT for RMT, Bioelectric Massage Therapy for remedial massage therapists. But whether you're a physio, myo, chiro, if you're interested in soft tissue and putting energy back into muscles and seeing the response and being able to assess that before, during and after and seeing amazing results, having clients rave about you because what you're doing is different to what everyone else is, and it doesn't replace what you already know, it's a tool within your repertoire and it just fits in and complements. And it's so important that you try it and see what you think. But the course is coming up, so give yourself a chance, but find out some more information and reach out. I'm more than happy to liaise and talk, and because I'm passionate about this, and I don't think that it should be a small group of people doing it. I think this is a game changer. The world's not ready for it, but that doesn't stop me. So take the opportunity, learn more about BMT for RMT, and be the change.